We started in 1932 in Los Angeles. It was the first time that the Olympic Committee chose one brand to be what is called official timekeeper, which we were designated at. And back then, I think there were one or two, the records are not always clear, watchmakers who went, of course, by boat to New York and then off to Los Angeles and took with them the stopwatches that, in fact, are still on display here in the museum to time manually all the different events at the Los Angeles Olympics. A lot of new technology that came from the Second World War was now used in timekeeping, from aerial photography, etc., and also the photo finish camera and the different other things. So it developed every year. Obviously, every year the Olympics grew and new technologies came. Omega participated a lot in many of the new technologies. And of course, Beijing was not just new technology, it was the scope. The whole Olympics was a whole different dimension that we'd ever seen before. You know, it was a coming out party for China, we always say this, and they put on an incredible show. It was a fantastic result. Also at the sporting level, we had great events. So, you know, over 400 tons of material, not just a few little stopwatches. The timing remains basically the second and the 100th of a second remains, or 10th of a second remains what it is. It doesn't change. The thing is to, obviously, to have the system that can be as precise and reliable as possible with all the backup systems that are necessary. But I think where we're looking today is to make it even more attractive to the viewer around the world. You know, there are going to be over 3 billion people watching, sometimes maybe 4 billion watching the game. So if we, not all the sports allow to show something a little bit more attractive, but some do. So I think with new technologies, including GPS, we have ways to make the events more attractive and more meaningful to the viewer. Omega is an official timekeeper, so we sell our services to the IOC, who need obviously a timekeeper and data handling. Obviously, we have to work within the framework that they give us. We can't tell them what to do. You know, they have the basic framework with all the sporting associations, and we work within that, swimming, athletics, etc. And then we buy back from the Olympic Committee the marketing rights to use the ring. So it's a very different setup than most of the so-called sponsors at the Games. But coming back to your question about what we're going to do, obviously we're using the technologies that's there, but we cannot disrupt the main flow of what they have to do. You know, our job is to time the games in the best possible way, the most reliable, the most precise way possible, with all the backups, swimming. Remember in Beijing, there was a very close finishes there. And also to try to make the viewers have the best possible show, because basically that's what they want to watch, not just, they just want to watch the time ticking by, but to be able to live the different events. So we're working on this.